A statement of intent does not replace how cabinet functions. You know, when people were being sworn in today, others cannot even pronounce conscientiously. Very difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult. I had a difficulty myself when I became the deputy minister for the first time to pronounce that word, conscientiously. But that oath is loaded. Do as you wish, you act like you are not following that oath. That's why Justice Zondo was saying, say it in English, if not in Xhosa, and you sign for it. Because that's not a picnic there. A minister must be minister. That's not a picnic. Deputy minister must be, I will respect my office. That thing is not a child's play. You serve the people of this country. Are we going to be working with the MK or the EFF? The EFF and MK have said that they don't want to be part of the GNU. We have repeatedly said that to you. So we don't know where the question arises. They said they don't want to be part of the GNU where other political parties participate because they've got a red line for that. And they've made their positions very clear that they don't recognize it. So that question does not arise to us, because the perspective that says we must go with a black political party movement, a black consciousness of 2024, does not arise in our, not just our vocabulary, it does not arise even in our ideological perspective as the ANC. So we work with everybody. So the black consciousness of political parties, and then we've got to interrogate a whole lot of things about ideology and all of that. And then once you get into that, you will realize that we're way apart from each other. So we can't be hoodwinked into ideological concepts that have not been thoroughly processed, politically speaking. So we believe that national interest, constitutionalism, rule of law are key to us in terms of the outcome of the election. As the ANC, we believe in that. Not some black consciousness movement that must come in 2024 and all of that. It is very good, black consciousness, don't misunderstand me. It is very good, but it must have content. You see, and if you look at the GNU, we have brought liberation movements into it. And then the PAC lead a land reform program in that GNU. So you may say it is one seat, but it is fundamental in terms of the disposition of the GNU when it comes to who is part of it. If Nyonzo had 10 seats as the PAC, probably will have 3 seats or 20 seats. He's one. You can't take anyone after him because you see. But you are embracing the principle of a national liberation movement. And that's what is important. And then allocating a proper seat to the PAC to drive, which will support the land reform program, is related. That's what is important. And that program equally is the program of the National Liberation Movement. But the ANC has not only locked itself into that, it has gone beyond that in terms of how we analyze the South African question, which will require a webinar discussion for some time. Power FM, this impasse will be resolved, and then we will move ahead. We may move ahead as a force, or we may move ahead with others behind. And that is what it is. But our interest is to basically work for everybody. Let me now come to the Freedom Charter as the last topic. Helen Zille says that we have not Helen Zille, you media, you say, not even you. It became a joke that we we signed a document we have not read. We drafted the document. You see this lady here is the best drafter. She's a doctor. She's a research capacity of the ANC. We work as a collective. I had the negotiations. We look at the document, it goes back and forth, it goes to the president, it goes to the officials, we agree on it and the SG signs. So the question that the document was not read is incorrect because we drafted it. You can only not read what you have not drafted. So we drafted the document, we shared with all political parties. They looked at it independently and they signed with us. The first party to sign with us was the DA. And then followed by PA, and then from there, followed by all other parties and the IFP. Now, here is clause 16, what it says. I'm reading it for you. I'll read for you in this document. Go and familiarize yourself. Clause 16 and 17 of the statement of intent. It says the government of national unity shall be constituted in a manner that reflects genuine inclusiveness of political parties that are party to this statement of intent and are represented in the National Assembly, broadly taking into account the number of seats parties have in the National Assembly and the need to advance the national interest. The President then shall, in constituting the executive, take into account the electoral outcomes. Helen Zille bring into this, when you talk about seats, proportionality. And then says that in terms of proportionality, we are then being undermined. But leave that it may be. In the document, we don't not even extrapolate proportionality and analyze it in detail. We talk about the principle of inclusiveness. We don't talk about proportionality that you'll get 5, 6, 7, 8. If you bring that in the negotiations, you can. But we made it very clear that to us, inclusiveness means to talk to everybody. But these are things that we'll share with you if you want to run a show on Netflix about what happened behind the talks. So we'll explain that. But the most important thing, that is clause 16, right? And then 17 says, whilst recognizing the president's prerogative to appoint members of the executive, such appointment shall be done in consultation with leaders of respective parties of the members considered for appointment. Now, President exercises prerogative. He talks to John Hestazen about Panyaza is going to constitute government in Gauteng. He will talk to leaders of political parties in Gauteng. That, look, and then they will talk about posts. And then that party probably will say, we want one post at this and that and that. And then they look into that, they engage at their level. Because the prerogative is now constitutional. But we said in terms of the statement of intent, the president will do that after consultation and so on. So that is the statement of intent. It's a public document that everybody have actually read. Have we given political parties positions that are anti-freedom charter? Now, all positions should belong to the ANC. But they would have belonged to the ANC if the ANC won outright majority. So which position is not the position of the Freedom Charter? All of them. 32 ministries, is it correct? Belong to the Freedom Charter. So the question when you constitute GNU at the government level, to an extent that will say this does not belong to us, it belongs to the Freedom Charter and all of that. Which one is going to be that? Because all of them are important, including Gauteng Mackenzie's position. They're very important. Sports, arts and culture, it's very important. Social cohesion, nation building. It's a big project. One politician said to me, and one politician once criticized me and said, "Hey, Zuma unyatsitse. Ufile ministry wa uralo ke di dangari le bananyana." All of that. Now I won't quote that politician. And then another politician said, you know, sports, you're taking it very serious. It's a very important position. In apartheid era, I was Minister of Education and Sports. I ended up becoming something important after that. So don't take it for granted. Because it's an important position, not for your own self-aggrandizement, but it is the position that makes you people happy. You are part of the people who generate happiness index for the country. And you can see it like, it's like Gauteng is going to make us happy. The guy is he's like Razmataz. If you like it, you see. So it's not a position you take for granted. We used to wake up early, fetch people from the airport, make them feel good, make them embrace Makati, Tyler. When they arrive at airport, you must be there.